Bob Forster is 27 years old and he can no longer walk, talk, or breathe on his own. He was diagnosed with ALS 2 years ago. His is a rare case because while about 6,000 people are diagnosed with the disease each year, the vast majority are between 40 and 65 years old. This year, Bob is being honored by the ALS Association at their annual Evening of Hope, not because of the rarity of his case, but for the work both he and his wife have done since being diagnosed with the debilitating disease.
What?
Just 4 years ago, Bob Forster was a typical active 23-year-old when he met Casey and fell in love.
We were always kayaking and rock climbing and hiking and biking and running around and just having adventures.
It was while rock climbing that they first noticed a problem with Bob's grip. They didn't think much of it until it started getting worse. In September 2014, just after a year of dating, they got the first diagnosis, ALS. They knew he would deteriorate quickly, and Bob gave Casey an out. You don't have to stay.
My response was, obviously I'm going to stand by you, because at this point we were so madly in love with each other that I couldn't picture him being on this planet and me and going through that and knowing what it was going to be like without me by his side.
So 3 months later, in one of their favorite places on earth, New Orleans, Bob proposed in the middle of a Mardi Gras parade.
Hey guys, guess what?
Casey wanted a winter wedding, but Bob insisted on the summer. So in just over 4 months, they planned their dream wedding and were married in June.
Well, I really wanted to be able to walk.
Me down the aisle.
And were you able to?
Yes. And it's a good thing, because if we had waited to the winter, he wouldn't have been able to. By October 2015, a year after the first initial diagnosis, he was in a wheelchair.
From there, things became more difficult, not only because of Bob's condition worsening rapidly, but also because as his wife, Casey cannot be paid as Bob's caregiver, which she had to quit her job as an architect to do full time. That's why Casey now fights for caregiver rights.
It's kind of
frustrating.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. It's a slightly flawed system right now.
And Bob is working on right to try legislation, which would allow ALS patients to try treatments not yet approved by the FDA as long as they've passed 2 trials. He also helped found a tech company working on a communication device that would use nerve endings instead of eye scanners like what's available now. Bob has even met with former Saints player Steve Gleason, who also has ALS. And all the work they and others are doing to advance ALS research gives the Forsters hope for the future. While there's still no cure for ALS or even a known cause, the Forsters are enjoying each and every moment they have together.
That's a good boy. We still have tons of fun together. He still makes me laugh all the time. He's such a prankster. And he's just, I don't know, you're awesome. And I mean, yeah,
And she is awesome.
Thank you.
When Bob was diagnosed 2 years ago, researchers only knew of 5 different gene mutations that could lead to ALS. Now they know of 43. That's why research funding is so important, because how can we find a cure for something when we really don't even know the cause? The ALS Association's Evening of Hope is this Thursday at the Crown Plaza in Warwick. We hope you'll join ABC6 at the event to help raise money for families dealing with the devastating effects of ALS.